In this episode, I talked to Toni Miranda of Radiance Image Consulting about the relevance of soft skills when it comes to attracting success in life and in business. This episode created an impact on me that I wasn't really expecting, I tell you. This conversation crumbled some walls that I have built for myself. Okay, let's jump in and listen to the conversation. What's up, everyone? This is Ray Baguio, and you're listening to Digitally Matters, a podcast for anything digital that really matters to you and your business. Let's start the show. Please tell us what you do, Toad.
Hi, I'm Toni Miranda. I am the president and CEO of Radiance Image Consultancy. So basically, we help the leaders by being their committed partner to continuously develop yung soft skills nila. Kasi ngayon, Ray and all of you listeners, I believe that soft skills are very important to help leaders become influential and confident so they can address their day-to-day task and at least fulfill their vision. Meron akong ginagamit na term, if I wanted to describe this in 2 to 3 words, I help leaders with their packaging. Yan.
Oh, okay. Okay. So soft skills. Well, what do you mean by soft skills? For those who have no clue what soft skills is all about.
Okay, soft skills, the way I usually explain this to trainings or speak engagement, these are your non-tangible skills. We don't see it, but these are the things that you need when you connect with people. Like the first impression, the way to help gain their trust on you, to have confidence towards your leadership. And kasama na dyan, mga feelings that you create out of everything, out of your appearance, behavior, and communication. So it's really more of the connection skills or connectivity skills. Lately, I've seen some news article describing it as the essential skills ng mga tao from childhood up to adulthood.
Oh, I see. So the way I understand is soft skills doesn't really tackle, or it doesn't care about whether you're a CEO or you achieve a lot or you consider yourself a loser because you haven't achieved anything yet. It's actually going to tap on something in a person that has nothing to do with the achievements.
Yes, nothing to do with achievements because this is something that you can develop.
Yes,
Meaning it is something it's either missing, wala pa siya sa isang taong achiever na, so meron siyang missing link. Or sa isa namang taong feeling niya, wala na siyang chance kasi matanda na, but hindi ko natutunan. Ang good news is, pwede siyang matutunan. It can be developed as long as you learn and you are open to accept the truth that we need it. Kasi wala naman tayong business or any activity in life that we do not connect with people. So the moment we are connecting, whether with a family member or sabi natin colleagues and the business people, we definitely will create an impact on them. Yun nga lang, it's either positive or negative impact. And during this time, or especially now, sa era natin, what we want to happen is to be significant by creating positive impact. That's why soft skills is very important. We cannot deny it, or we cannot also, pwede natin sabihin, I know that, Tony, bata pa kami, lessons na namin yan. But there is also, there's always a space that we need to improve ourselves because in time we've also changed depending on the people that we were with kasi naapektuhan din tayo ng iba. So best way is to reassess and check ano ba yung tama na soft skills kasi baka nag-iba na yung soft skills ko or ano naman yung pwede ko namang ituro, giving backside siya.
Okay. So the way I understand it is when I am able to develop soft skills that can allow me to create an impact with others. Let's say if I'm a business owner or a CEO in a company, whether big or small, does that also mean if I'm able to develop these soft skills and use it to create that impact, that impact could also mean um, something good for the business. Let's say I could also like close deals because of the soft skills I've learned, or I can also reach out to more customers and get more purchases from them. Is that correct? Is that true?
Yes, that's correct. Because when you
Oh.
develop the right version, kasi baka may wrong version din, di ba? Distorted view ang tawag natin doon. So when you get to develop, Ray, the right version, the correct version of soft skills, it will now help you communicate clearly and sharply your message. So in business, it's very important that your intended message comes across correctly. They are being received correctly by your recipient. For example, your message is, I want to help you with this. Pero ang receive niya is buy me agad, hindi help. And we all know that in business, our priority is to help rather than sell. Kasi selling actually will happen when the recipient felt that you are a good match for their need, diba?
I see.
So,
Yeah.
ang soft skills will help you hone everything from identifying your vision, creating your habits, your communication, because study shows there's really this first impression happening. We cannot control it. The only thing that we can do is prepare for it and manage it. So you can just imagine when you are aware about everything from your brand, when it is established, you can now align that. Lahat magiging consistent yung brand mo with your appearance. Then we don't confuse people. Kasi what we want to happen is to show respect and make them feel comfortable. So yun ang focus towards na para maging simple lang when I explain soft skills. So you can just imagine when they are confused,
Yes.
hindi na sila nagiging comfortable. Let's say sabihin natin, I am a leadership guru, di ba?
Yes.
Pero yung titik na intonation, yung tone ng voice natin, and the appearance is something that communicates that I cannot control myself. People are now confused. If you cannot manage yourself, cannot control yourself, how come you are promoting that you are a leadership guru when leadership needs to begin with the self, right?
Yes.
So yun ang mga missing link na sometimes masyado tayong busy learning technical skills, anything na tangible na nakikita natin, we overlook or sometimes neglect the soft skills.
Yes, I agree. And you mentioned about first impression, and then a while back appearance. Some people who are focused on, let's say, getting results right away. Sometimes they frown at that on that aspect. Like it's not really that important as of right now, because that's something that it has something about self development. It has nothing to do with the business or what you do as a professional. But based on what I've learned from you, it's actually not the case. For you to be able to have a good grasp of what you need to do in your business or at work, and be successful, you need to at least establish or be clear with your own personality, with your own voice, and use that to leverage yourself, right? And not be in competition with others because you're all doing the same technical stuff and the same things. It's not unique.
Yes,
Okay.
correct.
That
You're
makes
right.
sense now.
It really begins with it's an inside out communication. I call it inside out communication rather than outside in.
Okay.
What I have observed in years, kasi ako rin, by the way, Ray, I am one person pala who doesn't care about impression before. Kasi nga, for me, it's not important. That's why I speak from the heart, coming from the experience that before, I disregarded it as an important skill. I didn't mind. Hindi lang mind, I neglected it. Why? Because I'm gaining success. I have the 4 P's of leadership: power, possession, popularity, and position. Diba? Tama ba? Baka nakalimutan ko. So, since I had that already, I never cared about connection.
Oh, okay.
Meaning, hindi ko nung time naman na yun, hindi naman uso ang likes. Pero when, of course, we go through life transformation or challenges that would lead you to brutal truths, no? When I saw this brutal truth that, I want to mention that there's a verse in John 15:5. I am the vine and you are the branches. If you remain in me and I in you, you will bear much fruit. But apart from me, you can do nothing. I hated that verse before. Sabi ko, what do you mean I cannot do anything without you? I'm successful. But I believe this verse is deeper, no? It means about unspeakable joy, peace, and yung totoong abundance na hindi nakikita sa yung intangible din na abundance. So parang I began thinking, wait a minute, am I leaving an inspiring legacy or not? Kasi diba, as you grow old, you begin to see the bigger picture of life na it's not about likes. It's not about the number of viewers. But it's about the number of people that you get to feel the same, help them feel the same, yung significance din. And then, that's when I check, anong na-miss out ko? So there we talk about common words like attitude. I didn't have a good attitude. I was selfish. What else? I don't have respect to others because I don't respect myself. I'm having a difficulty inspiring others kasi parang kailangan pakinggan ba sila? Do we need to listen to their problem? Successful na ako. And I realized, kaya pala hirap akong ibigay. There's this truth, no, na quote, you cannot give what you don't have.
True.
So, I cannot give inspiration because I'm not inspired with my own self. I cannot give respect because I believe that time I didn't respect myself. And I was after gaining popularity because I didn't get that before. So parang nangyari, how I'm living my life pala is a coping skill. Whatever I don't have before, I want it. So it affects now the brand. It affects how I communicate. That's why pala hindi ko gustong... the reason why I neglected soft skills is because I made a shortcut. It's a short-term band-aid solution to the 4 P's, which is popularity, possession, position, and nakalimutan ko na isa, power.
Power.
Diba?
Power. Yeah.
However, I'm alone in the journey. Wala akong kasama. When I say walang kasama, I rise up alone in my own terms without helping anyone, without inspiring anyone. And when I studied business, kasi syempre gusto kong yumaman, kailangan enrollan ko lahat ng possible, good master classes, business, everything. Just to understand paano yumaman. Yun lang ang purpose ko na. And they actually speak of the same. So, until I felt the burden of being inauthentic, of chasing the wind, and chasing the 4 P's. Yan, na medyo nahirapan na ako dyan. Kasi I realized this technique or style, or sabi natin strategy, is not, kumbaga, I want to use the word, it's not everlasting. There's always a dead end. Your level of contentment never ends. It's like, chasing. Habol ka ng habol. And then when you receive it, when I get the 4 P's, or at least one of the P's, either power ba yan, possession, or a position, I'm not happy again. So I chase again and again. So, of course, these are the unspoken words. And I believe it's not only me. I believe it can be happening to others also.
Yes.
That's why I decided to reboot myself.
I would like to know how you deal with your time or how you manage with your time each day. Do you follow certain productivity routines or do you follow a certain rule when it comes to managing your time?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, okay.
Time is very important. I call it stewardship of time.
Stewardship.
Before I arrived, or before I created and made my, sabihin natin, routine, no? I need to understand first myself, from the vision to my target audience to the solution that I put on the table. Because those details are very important for me to move to my brand. Because the brand now dictates the routine.
Yes, yes.
Otherwise, well, again, the vision creates the mission, okay? Then, the vision is based on who I want to become. Kasi doon nagkakaroon ng doon nagkakaroon minsan
Disconnect.
ng gap or distorted view. Sometimes our vision is based on what we want to achieve. Pero me, I understood when I had a reboot or when everything, parang computer, nag-reboot siya back from zero. I realized that what I was chasing is to achieve something, not to become someone. Okay. When I talk about become someone, it's not yung cliche na I want to be famous, no. I want to become that person whose identity is anchored on God. And that is the most beautiful thing I have discovered about myself. Because when I discovered who I am in the lens of God and not who I am in the lens of how people are dictating or how my childhood experience have also dictated me to become, everything changed. I've learned to live a minimalist lifestyle. Kasi ang minimalist lifestyle will now remove anything that is not necessary, including anything that consumes your time, activities, yung dapat na P, wala na yan sa sa chine-chase ko. I don't anymore pursue the 4P, but I'm just pursuing my purpose. Isang P na lang siya, di ba? Mabilis pang spelling, purpose.
Yes.
And that one is now a clear vision resulting to a clear mission, di ba? And then creating a very clear, consistent sets of habits, are now the basis of my goal. Magkaiba kasi ang habits and goal. Habit is, ang sinasabi niya is, kasi who you want to become, di ba? I want to become a healthy, influential image consultant. So, person siya who you want to become. Out of that, so syempre may reason yon to inspire, influence, and create positive impact to leaders. Diba? So yun na yung vision. Kumbaga, hindi siya incomplete vision ko, but at least an idea of a vision. Then now it will create a mission. So the mission now here is to be the partner of leaders in developing their soft skills to make them influential and distinct leaders. Then out of the mission, magkakaroon na siya ng habits. Kasi I need to be modeling it So I need to be healthy, I need to be God-grounded. So yung mga small activities na yon ang iniingatan ko every day. Why? Because your habits will either work for you or work against you. You don't see the trajectory immediately. Kaya when you eat healthy food, hindi mo naman kita agad drain na after 3 days mag-lose weight na. But pag nag-reach na siya ng threshold, dun ka palang either mag-feel victorious or magsisisi na, shucks, ba't nga ba lagi akong puyat? Ayan, naka-wrinkles na ako. Mga simpleng like that.
Yes, yes.
And then the goal now is something like specific. Dahil gusto kong maging healthy, influential image consultant, I need to eat healthy food like at this time, diba? I need to at least exercise 5 minutes. So let's now go to your question. How did I create this routine, which I'm seriously doing every day? Is because it is deeply rooted to a vision. So parang lahat yun visionary decision na siya.
Yes, okay.
Okay, so first, I wake up at 4, ang aga, no?
Oh, God.
Even before, nung chasing the wind na ako, ganyan na naman yung routine ko.
Okay.
But of course, it's a different reason. But now, I wake up at 4 because I do my quiet time. It's very important that I call it the God first schedule. I've tried already not doing it. Meaning I miss it over pile up schedule. It's not the same. It's really not the same. I'm like chasing the wind again. I'm like carrying everything at my own strength. But with the quiet time, everything gets to its proper place, even the perspective, even the fear. Kasi we're just human. Sometimes we get overwhelmed. And that's why naging parang holy hour ko yan. And I just prefer in the morning, at least it's quiet.
It's quiet,
Everyone's
yes.
still sleeping. And I'm sure na yun ang nauuna rather than
Yes.
nighttime or lunchtime.
Yeah.
And then since I am on, ayan, na-reveal tuloy yung routine ko, yung IF, intermittent fasting, again, for health reasons, I don't eat breakfast. That's when I do short, few minutes exercise.
Okay.
And usually, the business side, whether it's coaching, training, or speaking, kung kakayanin, kung walang special request, I accept from 8 to 3 p.m. That's why most of my master classes, maybe some of you are listening who are my students, talagang ang nagiging target market ko ngayon, or at least ang nakaka-enroll sa master classes ko are the early people then, early riser. Kasi ito yung schedule. But of course, I make it flexible naman, understanding that some also wants to join, except that it's just that they're not available because they have work, they have chores. So I also do e-learning that they can anytime access. So that's it, 8 to 3. Mondays are my time to write. As you know, I'm also a blogger, so I just write. Of course, that's the formal sit-down writing na.
Yes.
But any time of the week, whenever ideas come in or an inspiration just gets in my mind, I record first in my cell phone, and then by the time I sit down for writing, tina-translate ko na siya or sinusulat ko na siya. Mondays also are, kung hindi fully booked, as much as possible, I don't book a lot. I don't accept speaking na mapupuno yung Monday because it's also the time for me and my team to plan out for our marketing activities. Because the vision is very clear, Ray. There's that's the one compelling me not to be complacent and not
true.
to be lazy, and to make sure I listen. When I say I listen, the 12 to 2 kung available, tsaka the 6 to 7, that's the time I listen sa social media. By the way, when I say listen, totoong listening yun.
Yes.
I'm listening. Anong needs ng tao na related sa vision ko. My vision kasi, I address the target audience of 25 to 45 years old who are not confident or may have the distorted view of confidence and who are not influential leaders. So with that problem and symptoms, marami namang connecting problems, pero yun yung major na ina-address kong na problem ng target audience ko. Kumbaga, my avatar are the corporate leaders. Why 25? Many have assumed already leadership at an early age, right?
Yeah,
because
yes.
everything changed. Before, ang target audience ko nasa 35 to 55, but parang every year nagiging mas bata. Pati tayo, di ba, Ray? And then why 45? They're the ones who are already worried. Will I still be competitive? Am I parang, do I just put up my own business because I'm tired? That's why hanggang doon yung target audience ko. And understanding that, I need to be updated every day. Kasi baka ang ina-address ko is problem pa last year. That's why I need to listen. I have to put that as a routine. It's very important as an input to everything that I do. Kasi I also send out emails to my subscribers, and I want to make sure that they are still current, relevant, and updated yung na-address kong at least my solution to the problem is still updated.
Yes.
And then at 3, bakit 3? Kasi my husband, with the new schedule now, he goes home early kasi nag-shorten yung time ng work. I wanted to be available for them.
Okay.
Medyo sweet siya, pero sige lang, kunyari hindi ka kinilig. Kasi it's just that with the story that I had, all the experience, it is only now that I'm enjoying the real value of family. So that is something that is very clear also with me and my vision. I don't want to compromise that. I believe someone who tries to inspire someone needs to begin with home.
Yes.
It's so dangerous to attempt trying to choose a niche, pero sa bahay hindi nila alam ang ginagawa mo. Biglang ganon. Talaga dito nga hindi ka marunong. Yung ganon. We cannot have different persona. And that's the one eating up, destroying us.
Yes.
Kasi silently we know we're not authentic. So we need to be the same at home, with your audience, in an interview. Because being authentic gives you freedom. You don't remember anymore what you said earlier. You don't remember what are the sets of qualities you portrayed in a certain group. You're just you, being authentic.
True. That's true.
Natulog na ba ako sa schedule ko? Teka,
Hindi
dinner
pa.
is around
3 p.m. pa lang.
6 to 7. Kinumpleto talaga. Kasi nga, remember, I'm an early riser which will entail me to sleep earlier.
Okay.
Kaya, some interviews, kapag meeting, sometimes I request kasi I'm clear with my vision. It's not really being selfish. It's just being organized and focused.
Yes,
so I
yes.
request, pwede ba meeting natin around afternoon? And sometimes they agree. Pag interview naman, hindi naman everyday ang interview like the other night. I got interviewed from 8 to 9. So I just have to say yes. And of course, I still prepare for it. Mabilisan na magpa-interview ng nakapajama na, di ba? Pero it's always the respect kasi the respect and the impression that I want to send out. Meaning, I respect the viewer and at the same time, even if sabihin voice lang, for me, there's an impact of how yung integrity mo sa sarili mo, knowing that you have prepared for the interview. Even now, even if you are just on voice or podcast, I'm prepared actually. Nakadress, naka-makeup, and everything. Because this is for you and for your audience. And even if people don't see it, at least the heart is, my heart knows it, that I have prepared for it. Tama na. Tapos ayun, tulog na.
Thank you.
Prayer again and then sleep na.
Okay. Well,
haba, no?
No. It's actually a refreshing take on how to manage your time. And from the industry that I'm in, when people talk about for you to be able to deliver services or your service to your clients, you need to come from a place of help. And sometimes people construe that idea of coming from a place of help as being cheap when it comes to their courses, their services, that they need to be more affordable than those who are just focused on delivering the service and selling. Now, how do you reconcile this in your business? Being someone who comes from help, which is actually valuable for your audience, and yet you are actually offering classes or programs that, of course, they need to have a certain price for it, for them to somewhat to filter them out na rin naman who would really take your programs or classes seriously, diba? So what's your take on this?
Okay. There is a system that I believe I followed and I trusted. No? Number one, we go back to identity. Yung identity natin, when it is already well-defined, it's clear based on the brutal truth, which in my case, which is no different to all, no? My identity is in Christ, okay? Which means, I believe also with that identity that I was given a talent.
Yes.
And I was blessed by God's grace of sending me to schools, getting certifications to hone that particular talent.
True.
Okay? So, isa na yun sa identity. Now, part of that identity, I also am very clear with my mission, which is, sometimes it intersects with purpose. So, which is to know Him and to know Him more. So now, how do I balance that? And how do I make everything clear without having silver lining to everything? Okay. First, I stick pa rin sa pinaka-grand mandate why I'm here, which is to expand His kingdom.
Okay.
Others have the same mandate. It's just that distorted pa yung path tsaka view. Kaya hindi nakita yung beauty ng life. But it's okay. Ako na mismo yung isang ganyan na talagang hindi yan yung nakita ko before. So when I discovered na yun talaga, that's how I need to make the most out of my talent. Okay? So in doing that, I also understand that I am not the provider. Diba? Kasi otherwise, I will do everything, manipulate everything, and pay for everything. Spend everything just to get business.
Yes.
So there's a formula that's intangible, however, so much powerful than I am. Kasi I am nothing, di ba nga? if you remain in me, I remain in you. Without me, you cannot do anything.
Yes.
So now I focus on doing two things only. Number one, allow God to bless me with His provision through my talent, which is the business. Okay? And allow God also to use me for His purpose, which is to expand the kingdom. Paano ko siya gagawin?
Yes.
I do not deny Him in my business. I talk about the brutal truths on leadership and confidence. And in a way, hindi ako nagdadalawang side A, side B, because everything is the same message. And then I send out, I do Bible study, which is the ministry. I do counseling, basta related sa ministry. But when it's already talking about something that you will need my talent, let's say coaching, helping you with your soft skills, helping you to define your vision, your brand, and how to have that presence, to get trust or to command trust instead of demand trust, diba? Or respect. Then I give them my fee. Some will find it expensive. It's okay. Because I really believe hindi ako yung magsa-strive eh. Ang ano ko lang dito is to present my content and God will do the rest. Okay?
Yeah.
Some will really, which I am experiencing now since 2017, will really not just be willing to pay, but they talk about me. So do I need pa ba mag-paid ads? Sometimes yes, but not the maximum expense, no?
Yeah.
The only purpose of the paid ads is for them to see that there is such thing as a content. Like I have this pandemic, I experimented on two content. One is 21 days developing extraordinary confidence. So I'm not talking about self-confidence. It is extraordinary confidence through minimalism. Is it possible? Find out. For only 21 days, for only 1,200, right? Is it expensive for me? No, it's not, because the learning is enough for you to recover the 1,200. Okay? Another one, sabi ko, maraming tao ngayong leadership ang narattle.
Yes.
Nabigla because of the unprecedented times and uncertainties. So I created this masterclass, which is Influential Leader Masterclass. And the same things that I'm telling you about mindset. Now, we are not, the provider is God, the source of everything is God. Na-embrace nila. So, nag-enjoy na tuloy ang tao about brand. Hindi na nila nakikita na parang parang a subject that they need to embrace that just to get in there. No, they understood that brand is important because it talks about your identity, but the real identity, not the dictated identity ng brand map or kung ano man yan, brand strategy, brand message. And then magugulat ka, it's so easy to create a focus of your message. Like me, my message is inspiring self, inspiring others, and it will lead you to leave an inspiring legacy. So whether the interview is highly C-level interview, subject matter, I still talk around those three. Of course, mas specific lang sa kanila. If I get interviewed, let's say in a radio about how do we deal with this stress, I still talk about that. Why? Because I came from a vision. Clear lahat eh. Brand map talaga siya, Ray.
Okay.
So now, am I selling or am I helping? I believe I'm helping not only people but also myself. Kasi ang bonus talaga dyan, Ray, you get to enjoy what you're doing.
Yes.
And at the same time, you get to grow. Kasi sometimes, people are chasing lang what they need to do to gain. They forget to grow. They forget to be plugged with a mentor and a support group. Kasi we cannot give what we don't have. So we also reach a certain level wherein we need feeding again. Kaya ako talaga may mentor ako, may support group, and accountability partner to remind me if I am not anymore aligned to my vision.
I see. Parang I feel that some of the things that you mentioned is actually directed to me, Toni.
Really?
Yeah. Anyways, you talked about mentors and people and accountability group or folks. Let's talk about your influences. Now, in terms of people, are there people, or can you tell us more about the influences you have in your life?
Okay, sige, sure. So when I learned everything about brutal truths, no, I also became picky, and I made sure that my feeding are also aligned, meaning they also value the brutal truth. For me, when I talk about brutal truth, it's more of the biblical truth. So when it comes to customer experience, we have to check if it's aligned. If it's leadership, is it aligned? And everything, pati branding. Siyempre, hindi lang naman yan yung words na ginamit ng Bible. So I follow leadership influencers, so sabihin natin experts, like Elias Canaris, because he's a Christian leadership guru. I make sure I always listen to Ravi Zacharias. And Sam Chan. Sam Chan is also another, at least a Christian who teaches leadership. And then because I graduated, I'm a graduate of Haggai International. It's a training for leaders. So the founder of that, Dr. John Edmund Haggai, is also, I also follow everything that he teaches. Lahat, the books, to podcast, to everything. And then when it comes to image consulting, because ang advice ko kasi to all our listener, once you have defined who you are, make sure all aspects of that, you have a mentor. That's why I appreciate those who also enrolled in my mentorship, kasi I understand na hindi ko kaya to, Ray, ng 4 years na turn around na from totally a new image consultant, totally new speaker, na in place lahat. I owe it to Sarah Hathorn, who is an image consultant international, Teresa Vilfoy, and Sylvia De Justo. Sila kasi yung na-identify ko na same yung brand message namin. That's why I don't want to be contrarian, no, to this famous quote that it takes 10,000 times to practice. It's okay kasi alam ko naman marami siya na-inspire na tao. I will not mention the book and the writer.
Yeah, I think I know that.
But I believe, but I always believe kasi I don't want to be really so spiritual. But I believe God, when your heart is right already with God, He sends you people to already provide you the path, at least to guide you.
Yes.
So now the practicing of 10,000 times shortens. Pero ang nangyari kasi you practice not because ang iniisip mo only after then you will become an expert. No, you practice because you wanted to become better for the audience. So you can start anytime as long as merong mentor na nagsasabi. For example, all this branding, the website, lahat to, sabihin ko na lang nag-invest ako for a mentor for this. But it actually saved me a lot of time. Kasi yung time para sa akin, hindi siya nare-redeem, hindi siya nare-recycle, at hindi siya naibabayad, di ba? Nawawala siya. Kumbaga, buti pa nga ang pera pag na-invest mo, nakukuha mo ulit. Ang time, once it's there, it's gone. So for me, the investment was worth it kasi it saved me time. I learned, sila nag-push sa akin, you have to join associations na related sa brand mo. So if I'm a speaker, I need to have an association for speakership, or at least for being a speaker. Since I'm an image consultant, I need to be part of the International Image Consultant Association.
That makes sense.
Okay. Right. And if I want to give back, then I need to be part of an association whose mission is to give back. So I have a women's group for that. So these are not really the famous ones. I'm sure pag ginugol baka hindi. But at least some of them, kasi iba sa kanila patay na, some of them I still get to talk with because they became my mentor, and at the same time, they were consistent. Mahirap kasi yung highly commercialized that they don't get to to understand anymore the mission kung aligned pa ba. Well, of course, I still follow John Maxwell. I still follow him.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He's good. He's really good. In fact, the book that I wrote, may mga kinuha kong prinsipyo sa kanya. It's just that I need to also follow people who I can talk with. It's very important kasi na na may feedback sila.
Connect.
Someone who can spank you.
Oh, okay.
Wow, how's your productivity this week? 'Di ba? Kung before ayoko niyang tanong na yan kasi mayabang ako eh. Parang pakialam mo, 'di ba? Pero now I understood that the reason why we need someone to do that is because time cannot be recycled, cannot be retrieved.
True.
And it's moving. You cannot, mahirap kasi ikaw nag-chase. Maganda yung you live today and enjoy it.
Can you please share with us, or share with me, any advice or any guiding principles that you follow that has helped you achieve the success that you are experiencing right now, or the success or the way you're living your life right now? Any parting words, so to speak?
Okay, parting words. I'm thinking of maybe 3.
Sure.
Okay. First is to do not deny God and your identity in Him. That's very important because that's actually probably the best and only principle, and the rest are just an accessory to that principle. And I tried to deny Him by being shy before because they said you cannot mix business with your faith.
Yeah.
But it changed me. I mean, when you remove Him in my content, I'm no longer authentic. And when I remove Him in my content, I'm going to deny my past, which is very important in my content because the past is what or the experience led me to who I am now.
Yes.
So I do not deny God. Even if it's LinkedIn or anything, my content's the same. I send out verses, my principles in leadership and everything. Because I believe it is not, hindi ko siya pwedeng diyan ka sa heaven, dito ako sa earth. No. So in everything, this is how I pray. I don't anymore pray this way, Ray. Hindi na yung, Lord, please help me get that contract. No. Lord, I always include Him. How do you want us to do this? How do you want me to send I'm going? Medyo siguro cheesy nga, sabi mo. But in 4 years, yun ang ginagawa ko, and I never regret doing that. So that's the first principle.
Okay.
Kumbaga, pinaka-foundation natin yan.
Yes.
Second is, I only focus on my strength. I understood well na all this time, since I was a controlling nature person before, I tried to carry and, yabang pa na, kaya ko yan. But now I realize, so I've learned to collaborate. Okay. Anything that's not my strength, I have to ask help. Diba? And because not all are available at the moment, but I believe God moves mysteriously, medyo, I want to use the word, naging confident. Instead na lakas loob, no, ay naging confident ako to ask. For example, I keep messaging people just in case you need speakers and ganito. And ang mawawala lang naman sa akin is actually wala, di ba? Sing-song lang.
Yeah.
But importante, I tried rather than
not doing anything.
Fear and doubt, you don't. Okay? Third principle is I stick to my brand. I'm very serious about my brand. So it's consistent from my appearance, behavior, communication, lahat, yung reaction. So whenever uncertainties happen, whenever, an emotion will arise out of disappointment or difficult people, I can manage. Kasi naaalala ko yung vision ko, tsaka yung brand ko, and yung goal, which is to, mabilis kasing sabihin, 1 month, ayoko na magsulat. 1 month, sige na lang, tamarin na lang ako, tsaka ayoko kayang sagutin lahat ng nag-message. Sabihin ko na lang, mayaman na ako, di ba? Pero hindi kasi na yun yung found life ko ngayon na I need to be available. But I need to represent God, so I cannot be lazy with my appearance. Kasi sasabihin ko, life is good, tas biglang yung itsura ko mukhang hindi ako nag-enjoy. Right? Yung communication ko, alam ko naman na talagang ang ko noon is I'm not fluent in English, the accent, naghahalo pa rin yung Singapore, Philippines, and But what do I need to do? Hindi pwedeng tulugan yan. I have to practice about it because I am very serious with my brand. I have to improve it.
Yes.
What else? Etiquette and behavior, ang sarap magwala sa social media, di ba?
Yes.
Pero that's not the way to do it.
Yes.
The brand speaks very clear that I want to make a difference by inspiring people. There you go. Just 3. Do not deny God. Understand your identity with Him. Second is to focus with your strengths. And last but not least is to stick to your brand.
Okay. So that wraps up our show. That's it for now, and thank you for listening to this episode. I hope you'll join me again next time here on Digitally Matters. This has been Ray Baguio, and until next time, ciao.